that Bob Mueller had this incredible nonpartisan reputation in Washington. While Comey might be able to be personally blamed for having political motives or thinking politics, no one was going to be able to attach that label to Bob Mueller.
That was then. Now, Trump views their relationship with suspicion.
Wounded in combat, shot through the leg, received Bronze Star with Valor, Purple Heart, and was right back in the fight a couple of weeks later.
I always did consider myself fortunate to have lived through the war in Vietnam, and there were many men such as David Hackett. You feel that you have been given a second lease on life, and you want to make the most of it to contribute in some way. There were many men such as David Hackett who did not.
In his early 20s, fought in Vietnam. I don't think there's anything in Washington that's going to give him any type of fear that he faced when he was a young man.
Soccer, lacrosse, and hockey, and was captain of all three teams. He is a decorated, wounded Vietnam veteran who left the Marine Corps with a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. He went on to Princeton, got a master's at NYU, a law degree at UVA.
Mueller has been notoriously unhappy every time he has tried to be in private practice. He just can't defend guilty people.
Wrong way.
Promoting family literacy, as I truly believe that being able to read, write, and comprehend is one of the keys to a very successful, happy life, and that a literate society is important to keeping our country safe and strong.
He'll meet with a client, they'll explain his problem, and he'll say, well, it sounds like you should go to jail then.
Now when I'm Lucy Claude, I'm invincible. Been questioning a lot, hey, where's your principal? 'Cause my prince.
And regardless of your chosen career, you're only as good as your word.
Questioning a lot, hey, where's your principal? 'Cause my prince.
And in some sense, you feel that you have been given a second lease on life, and you want to make the most of it to contribute in some way.
Has been notoriously unhappy every time he has tried to be in private practice. He just can't defend guilty people. He'll meet with a client, they'll explain his problem, and he'll say, well, it sounds like you should go to jail then.
Your reputation will suffer, and once lost, a good reputation can never, ever be regained. As the saying goes, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. And if you do not have integrity, nothing else is an unyielding commitment to the rule of law and to the safety and security of the citizens we serve. In a free society, a central responsibility of government, I believe, is to protect its citizens from criminal harm within the framework of the Constitution. I have been fortunate indeed to have been able to spend much of my career in pursuit of that goal. What has never changed and will never change are our values. We have pledged to serve and to protect our nation, and to do so while upholding the rights and the liberties guaranteed to every citizen under the Constitution. And I've always been proud to say that I work for the Department of Justice because of that for which it stands, which is an unyielding commitment to the rule of law and to the safety and security of the citizens we serve.
It's all part of the new landscape as he investigates the president.
In Congress, we just assume politics infects and invades everything.
As the saying goes, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. And if you do not have integrity, nothing else matters.
Robert SWAN Mueller, in his own words.
Mueller remains silent, instead letting his work speak for itself.
He is the best hope to produce a product that my fellow citizens can have confidence in. It will not come from Congress. Let me assure you of that. It is not going to come from a bunch of politicians. I hope it can come from a former Marine who is the head of the FBI and a U.S. attorney, but he's got to be mindful of the perception. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to wait on the product that he produces.
You want to know what to do when someone comes up to you. You want to know what to say. We're judged to make them. It only happens once. So, you want to meet me? You want to find me in all the safe spaces that I can know.
In the end, it is not only what we do, but how we do it.